What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki with another episode of Two Tree Guys. It used to be called Two Tree Guys and a Bucket of Beer, and I'm sitting here with Justin Sizemore, and he just said, hey, it's Two Tree Guys, Bucket of Beer. And I'm like, yeah, it used to be called that. And he goes, well, do you want a beer? And he pulled out a fucking ice cold beer, Coors Light. Cheers, my friend. I appreciate it. But before we get started, guys, let me cheers this. Man, you're good, man. You're the best guest I've ever had on the show.
It's the end of the day.
Gosh, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Thank you so much. I'm going to speak close to it, but before we get going here, guys, if this is the first time you guys ever listen to the show, we got a fee to that show. What the fee is pay it forward. If you liked it, if you enjoyed this show, you enjoyed the story, you laughed, you learned something, pay it forward, share it, post it. This is how this this is how this podcast grows. This is how we get more listeners. This is what encourages me to do it more and more, to give back to you guys. And also to all the new people that are listening, we got many different types of episodes we have on here. We have your training talk. We bring different type of trainers in to talk about sales training, climbing training, whatever we can teach you to help you perform your art out there in the field better, we're going to teach you. We have our full-length episode, which is if you come to California, you come in our studio, we'll drink beer. Cheers again to Justin. Appreciate it. Drink beer, hang out in the studio, eat a bunch of good food, laugh, make fun of Jared, whatever it takes. We have our gear talk. We bring different products that manufacturers bring in that we do side-by-side comparisons. We talk about the products, what works, what doesn't work, what we like, hearing the backstory of how it was made. We have our safety talks. We talk about incidents that happen in the industry. How do we mitigate those from happening again? We break down what could have been done to prevent that from happening. And lastly, we're going to hear today is what's your story? Industry badasses that come in and tell their story of life's journey and how they got in the industry. And today we're going to be hearing from Justin Sizemore from Cincinnati, Ohio, Sizemore Tree Works, and also another fellow podcaster. He has a podcast called Let It Run. So download it, like it, share it if you get something out of it for that. So welcome, man.
Right on. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. I like your sweatshirt.
Yeah. Cool dude made it.
Yeah, pretty cool dude. He's been on the podcast a few times.
Right
Mr.
on.
Matt Meckley. So this is your podcast, man. So
Okay.
I want to hear your story from the
Okay.
time you were born to where you are now,
Sure.
life's journeys, the ups and downs.
Okay. So I guess I was born in Oxford, Ohio, which is pretty close to Cincinnati. It's just like 40 minutes away.
Yeah. And I'm from Ohio.
Oh, right on. Where?
Yeah, Toledo.
Okay.
As far away from Cincinnati
So
as I get.
skipping ahead a little bit, I went to college in Tiffin.
Okay.
So Toledo is just about an hour north. And
Yep.
yeah.
But I'm not a Buckeye fan. I'm a Wolverine fan.
Okay.
But you're probably a Cincinnati fan?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Not a Buckeye fan, right?
Not really. I spent some time at the campus there. It is fun every time I go, but I'm not really into sports that much.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So then, all through high school, played sports. I wrestled.
I wrestled.
Oh, right on.
If
Cool.
you're from Ohio,
Yeah.
you got to wrestle.
I think it's mandatory.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And then, so post high school, went to college. I walked onto the team at Tiffin. Around that time, I got into the National Guard as well. So I started military service there, and just kind of did the college thing, did the basic. I was an 18-year-old kid, had no idea what I wanted to do. Parents say you got to go to college, or it would behoove you to go to college. So it's like making decisions, and it's like, well, I think this is the best for my future. So then you go to school. And I just never really knew what I wanted to do the whole time I was kind of doing that. I also did a little bit of time in the National Guard, like 6 years. I was an MP for 6 years.
Okay.
And then after college, I got an internship doing IT work, and I kind of got into computers, and I worked.
How'd you get that? I mean, did you go to school for that?
No, I actually went to school for Homeland Security and Terrorism. So
Okay.
it's like a specialized criminal justice degree.
What interests you into getting into that?
I've just always been a service-oriented person, I feel like, and that's just kind of, my stepdad was a police officer, so I was kind of around that side of things. I just wanted to.
So you got to hear the stories coming home.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, helping people, the good that cops, do for us out there and protecting us.
Yeah, so I got into a cybersecurity internship, and that's where I kind of started getting into IT. I did that for probably, I don't know, almost 10 years after college. I worked in aviation, so I did cybersecurity at GE for military contracts and stuff. So I got to work with some cool programs.
Yeah.
And then I took that and went to the civilian kind of side of things and worked in the steel industry for a long time for a Fortune 100 company. And then I just kind of found myself in a place where it's like, I'm not getting fulfillment. I'm going into a cubicle every day. I'm answering emails all the time. It wasn't really my thing. So
now, were you always kind of an outdoors person before that?
Yeah. So my grandfather has a farm, and he did a farm, and then he ran like a skidder logger operation.
Yeah.
And I was kind of always around chainsaws and always around big equipment as a kid. Yeah. And it was always just, go to school, use your brain, not your back. And I just kind of got away from that physical labor side of things.
Yeah.
And then I was doing the corporate thing for a while, and it wasn't working out. And I started doing side jobs and tree jobs, and just kept growing and progressing. And
but how'd you start doing side jobs and tree jobs?
Okay, so my neighbor had a white pine that they wanted to come down, and I'm an able-bodied person, and it's like, I'll help you out, I'll do it. So got gaffs, got a saw, and just kind of.
What kind of saw were you running?
A 201.
Okay.
So flip line, all that stuff, and then I just.
But where'd you learn this?
Through YouTube, through social media.
So you're like, hey, you got a tree take down. Okay, let me go on YouTube. What do I need to take this tree down?
So I found a Canadian guy by the name of Buck and Billy Ray, and just kind of went through and watched some of his stuff, and there's so much information out there on how to do this, and there's how-to videos.
Yeah.
You gotta use your best judgment and decipher what's good from what's not good, because it's all out there. So you have to kind of pick what works and is what is safe, what's the best for you to do. So just through those videos and that's kind of how social media started for me. I wanted to learn about tree work, so I basically made an Instagram and curated it to teach me information. So go follow like leaders in the industry, essentially. And it just, they're talking about, so when we come to talks and stuff here and learn about stuff, they're doing that every day, and they're posting that stuff. And so it's like you get 365 days of information from whatever their stuff is.
Yeah.
So I just kind of did that and just kept going with that, and I make some videos. And
you'd go in and hack their server?
No, none of that.
Training videos to learn?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. Yep. My videos.
I like it. So who were some of the leaders in the industry that you started following and learning from?
Definitely Buckin is a big one. I ended up meeting him in person, and he's just
cool dude,
a huge mentor. And
you want to give him a shout out?
Oh, absolutely. Buckin, thank you. He definitely knows how I feel.
That's cool.
Yeah, like the Monkey Beaver crew and August Hunnicky and all that stuff of every day of just what they do and the videos they post. Matt has been a huge help and big mentor and just kind of just hanging out and just.
He's a cool dude.
Oh yeah, talking about stuff and And you can definitely tell when you're talking to somebody, like if they're really into it or not, if they're really doing the work and really passionate. You can tell.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Matt's definitely one of those guys. He lives for this every single day. Post about it every single day, you know.
For sure.
So from that white pine that you took down, what was the feeling of, you know, learning how to do this, actually doing it?
Yeah.
What was kind of your thought process afterwards?
Very different from what's in the textbook. It's not different, but the way it's articulated and what you're physically doing are two different things. So you have to kind of put it together of like, oh, I'm putting my gaff in the tree. This feels weird. Like, and you kind of have to adjust yourself. And as you do it more, you learn more.
When you got down from that tree and took it down, were you like, this is it?
Yeah.
This is what
Oh, for sure.
You just knew.
For sure. I knew. Yeah. I had an inclination prior to that, but then after I did that, it was like, okay, I got to do this.
You needed to go get your fix again. You're like, what's next?
Oh, what's the next job? What's the next job? And then,
so then how'd you get started at doing more side jobs? What'd you start doing?
So through word of mouth of like, oh, Justin took this tree down for me, or everybody needs tree work, right? At one time or another. And I was making decent money at the time. So it was like, I could kind of do it. Sometimes I would do it for free, and then just slowly build a skill set. And then through the word of mouth of doing good jobs for people and being honest and not, you know, breaking stuff and then covering it up, just telling them, because stuff happens. You're new in the industry. As long as you're honest with your skill set. I mean,
what's the first thing you broke?
A fence. A fence, a white PVC fence. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So what happened was it was a locust tree in somebody's backyard, and I made a cut, and I should have hinged it, and I just thought it was going to peel down, and it just popped off and just right through the fence.
What'd the homeowner say?
They were okay with it. I kind of put it back and made it right. So it wasn't too bad, but that was the first one. Yeah.
The duct tape and everything kind of stuck out.
No duct tape. No duct tape.
You're like, I put it back.
Yeah.
Some glue, some duct tape.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So you started doing more side jobs. Kind of going, okay, I can do this. Still working your full-time job.
Sure.
That was in cybersecurity?
Yes.
Same time.
Doing it at the same time. Weekends.
Cybersecurity, tree work.
Exactly.
That usually doesn't go together.
It doesn't at all.
Hey.
So, and then you tell people in the IT world that they're like, you're nuts. Yeah. So I got to a point, and then COVID hits, right? There's nothing going on. I'm working from home 100% full time. So I got to the point where it's like, I'm just going out and doing estimates. I don't really have much going on at work. I can do all that remotely later or whatever. So I would just go out and do estimates and
start knocking
like
on
that.
doors.
Yep. And then,
hey, you got some trees? I can take care of them for you.
Absolutely.
And what was the response of a lot of the people there when you were knocking on the doors? COVID was happening. I mean, everybody thought everybody was going to kill everybody.
Right.
And things.
Yeah.
How was that with knocking on the actual doors and people opening up to you? Were they like?
Yeah, I didn't really do a lot of door knocking sales through that way. It was all still a lot of word of mouth. It was pretty normal. I feel like I don't. It wasn't. Didn't really. I don't know. We were just kind of getting through it.
Yeah, and California is totally different. Everybody's like spraying Lysol on your face and rubber gloving and putting buckets on your head and weird stuff.
Sure.
So maybe Ohio was a little
we had a little bit of that, but it wasn't
as weird as us.
Right.
Yeah, we're weird. California is weird. That's why I always say I'm from Ohio.
Sure. Yeah.
I moved to California.
Okay.
Yeah. So So after that, knocking on doors.
Sure.
Getting more business.
Right.
Then what?
Then I got to the point where it's like, okay, I should probably not put all my saws in a Kia Forte and drive around and do this. I probably need a truck. So I went and got a truck, and then just keep doing it. I did a dump trailer, and then I got to the point where it's like I traveled a lot. So at this point where you've gone back to work, I'm working, at least 3 days a week in the office. I'm traveling a lot. We would acquire other companies and then integrate our systems with theirs. So
the steel company.
Right. So we would fly out to these places and have these meetings. And then I just remember being in a meeting, and it was like, I don't know if you've seen the videos. It was like, where were you when you sold out or whatever like that. And I was sitting there, and I was just like, yeah, I got to get out of here. I gotta make a change.
You seen one of those videos and was like,
Oh, well, yeah, it just played in the back of my mind. It was like, yep, this is it. You got to go. You got to figure something out.
so how'd you make that? Did you just go to your boss and say,
here's
I'm out,
my 2 weeks. I have an opportunity if,
doing my own thing?
yeah, essentially.
And so you decided to go all in.
Yeah.
You had a dump trailer, you had a pickup truck, and you're like, let's go.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at now, pretty much.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I'm definitely hindsight. That's been at least that's almost a year ago now, and so it's pretty recent development. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Hey, so you're full time doing tree work.
Yes, 100%.
Do you have anybody working with you? Any crew?
So my
subcontract to anybody?
my brother will help me, and I'm not doing huge removals and stuff, and I'm just
teaching him how to climb.
I'm doing. He's definitely interested, and I'm giving him the knowledge that I can, but I'm not I'm not the instructor, right? That's you guys.
Yeah.
I can't really. I don't know. I feel weird about telling people how to do stuff, but it's like I can show him, and then if you wanted to on your own, like that's up to you. But I'm not gonna force anybody to get in a tree or anything like that.
That's cool. So you use groundy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. My dad will help me sometimes.
Good,
that's cool.
man.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about where you at mentally in doing all this, from going from
100%
IT,
better.
and then you're out in the field.
100% better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Just free.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
And then, so work did slow down for me a little bit. I put a lot of money into marketing and stuff like that. So I did. There was a corporate company that was hiring, and I've been working there for a little bit to kind of fill the gap. And I'm still doing side work and stuff.
Man.
Yeah.
So what's your goal for your company in the future for yourself?
So I'm kind of at a like kind of a crossroads of, okay, do I continue with this company, which I have faith in, or do I continue maybe working for somebody who has a really good skill set and can teach me things? I'm just kind of like right there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just looking for the right opportunity.
Yeah. Well, being here, there's a lot of opportunities.
Definitely.
Meeting the people and stuff. Let me ask you, how could the Academy Two Tree guys, how can we help you be successful?
Well, tomorrow I'm doing the class, so I'll be there all day. And everybody I met from the Academy has been super awesome.
Good.
So I think you're already doing a great job.
Okay. How far are you from Columbus?
An hour and a half. Not even. Yeah.
Do you know the Joseph Tree brothers?
I follow them. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
Guys,
Never met them, but
freaking awesome guys.
Cool.
If you need any mentors or somebody to work with you and help you,
okay,
that's the company.
Okay.
Right there.
So I listened to that podcast. They're the firefighters, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Right on.
I sold them a program at our first trade show in TCIA, and I've watched these guys just double and grow their company while working part-time in a full-time position, part-time with the tree company, and getting other firefighters to come work and help with them.
Sure.
But they are a wealth of knowledge. When they will help you with anything you need.
Right on.
They never have to meet you. They will help you. But that'd be maybe a great company to go, hey, you have a day, 2 days a week, I'll come and work with you guys.
I would do that, no problem.
And I'd be all for it.
Cool.
There. So I can help connect you with them.
Okay, that'd be great.
Drive.
Yeah.
Evan Beck.
That sounds familiar.
Evan Beck, he was a trainer with Nats. Now he works for Right Tree from there. Matt Meckley's fiance, right, Caitlin. She's from working from those guys in Columbus because she's from Ohio.
Sure, yeah.
From that. So they've turned out a lot of amazing climbers and teaching some awesome things. So I'd love to hook you up with
that. Would be awesome. Yeah,
for that. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, so let's switch over a little bit and talk about your podcast.
Okay.
What made you start a podcast?
Because I knew that other people were doing this, and I just kind of wanted to talk about what are my frustrations with this, what's going well, what's not going well, what are the growing pains, essentially, and basically as a model for somebody else to learn from.
Yeah, they do. They learn what not to do, what to do.
I'm more of a lot of what not to do. Yeah.
Well, usually that's how everybody gets in the industry is just a pickup truck, a chainsaw, and they just figure it out.
Absolutely.
And they might get a good mentor that's there to coach them along from there. And it sounds like, in this industry, you've kind of just jumped in on yourself, by yourself. You haven't really had any mentors to help you kind of coach you along the way.
Not on the job like every day, but there's people that I reach out to. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get you somebody to help.
All right.
If you're listening to this, guys, and you're in the Cincinnati area, and you're a contract climber, you work with another company, reach out to Justin. Come help him out. Come do some different projects and jobs.
Definitely.
And maybe work together to help build something.
Yeah.
Love your logo.
Appreciate
Super
it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love
thanks,
to get
man.
one of the hats.
Yeah.
Even though I have a big head, it probably
I got one in my backpack.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Before we end this podcast and stuff, I always ask individuals in your life and the journey you've been on and the ups and downs from, working in cybersecurity, doing what you do, starting your own tree company. What are some wisdom you can share with us? What are some life lessons you can help the individuals out on their way?
Sure. I think it's important to slow it down and not think of problems in the fact of like, oh, I'll never get this done, or this is an insurmountable thing. I think it's good to just slow things down and take it second by second, to even if like, oh, well, I got to get to lunch. Like if I can make it to lunch, we're good. And then just keep going and going. And your progression at the end of the day can be exponential. When you put years together, you can really learn a lot.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. You're going to be successful.
Appreciate that. No.
Keep going.
Yep.
Don't go work for corporate America. You got this, dude. We're going to make sure of that.
Right
okay? Everybody, if you got something out of this episode, if you loved it, if you learned something, we just ask you to share it. How did somebody reach out to you?
On Instagram, Sizemore Tree Works.
Okay. There it is. Reach out to them. Let's make sure you're successful,
Cool.
man.
Right on.
I want to see next year we come in.
That'd be awesome.
You're on the podcast. You go,
Yeah.
dude, I have a crew.
Yeah.
I've grown. I have more work than I know what to do with. That will be
cool.
a success for me to hear that.
Right on.
So everybody, just remember to continue to elevate the standard of the industry through safety, training, and innovation. Till next time, we'll see you guys later. Appreciate you.
Cool. Right on.